myself. Hello, how are y'all doing today? Let me bring this down the pad. There. Okay. So today is a kind of exciting today is all about Q&A for your first date. So let me go ahead and do that. So this is the first date Q&A session. Go ahead and come on. Yeah. Okay, so today is the first date Q&A session. So who's ever joining in, I see someone's there. Hello, Janet Moore, and I am the dating coach for single men in tech. And I have a group called Confident Dating Secrets for Single Men in Tech. And I don't know if you're watching potentially from, you could be watching from YouTube, from my Geek Whisper chat page, or you could be from the group. So if you can, go ahead and say hello, so I know who you are and who's watching. So for those of you, oh good, let's see, how are you doing? Happy Friday, and hello, Bill, thank you. You're very sweet. So today is an open session. This is a first date Q&A. So it's anything about first dates. I'm here to answer your questions. I don't have anything I'm going to talk about per se. I'm going to ask you to ask me questions. So that's what this one's about. You might have seen the notice in the group. And so for those of you in my group, you get to ask me questions. I mean, actually, anybody can ask me questions. So for those of you on the call, I see there's more people coming. So we got like 4 people on the call. What kind of questions do y'all have for me today about first dates? It could be something around how to get a first date. It could be what to do on a first date, how to get a woman prepared to have a really great first date. It could be all kinds of things. So what do y'all want to know about first dates? I'm kind of waiting for you just go ahead and type in the comments below your questions, okay? So that's what we're doing today. So if you have questions about first dates, go ahead and put them down below and I will answer them. Okay, so let me look. I'll kind of look through my, let me look at what I put down for different questions. Let's see, okay, yeah, getting a first date, like I said earlier. Let's go back, that over there, go back here. Okay, so I said getting a first date, preparing for a first date, what to do on a first date. I'm gonna put it over here. Put it right here. Getting a first date, preparing for a first date, what to say or do on a first date. I'm here to answer your questions. So this is what today is, a Q&A. It's a little different than what I normally do for my live streams. Usually I have a topic and I talk about the topic. This one is where you ask me questions specifically about first date. What do you want to know about first dates? I didn't see any questions from some of the posts that I did do about this. Let's see if I see any here. Discussion. Let's see if we go back to discussion. Anybody have questions? Okay, first date. I think someone was saying they were going to be here and they were excited about it. So let me know if you have any questions. This is what I'm here for today, is to answer questions about first dates. Maybe some believer mindsets about a first date. Great. What is a good first date venue? Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you for whoever that was for asking the question. I appreciate that. So what's a first good date venue? I personally like going out to eat. Why? It's because you are going to maybe a coffee shop or something where you can sit and talk. You can have a first date, you can have more adventurous. I like to say have your adventurous dates on your second date. Your first date is where you're kind of trying to get to know the person, trying to get a feel for them, asking them questions, just understanding them better to see if y'all are a match or not. Because you meet people maybe on a website, dating app or something, and you're like, you seem to click maybe through text or maybe even on the phone. But when you see them in person, there's something different that happens. There's either chemistry, there's not. So the best way I think to do that is to actually go out to eat. People love to eat. It makes people happy. It could be just a drink, or it could be at a restaurant. I always say pick a restaurant where you can hear them, because sometimes, I don't know, some places are very noisy. So that's what I would say would be a first good date venue. Second dates, like putt-putt golf, bowling, I don't know, just different fun adventures, I think would be a cool thing to do for second dates. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right. It just means that's what I think. That I think it would be great to do is to get to know the person by being able to talk to them. So you want to go someplace where you can talk. You could take them to like see a band or a movie, but the thing about that is then you're just sitting there listening. It's kind of hard to get to know each other. So that's why I say first dates is like a restaurant, stuff like that. And like I said, second dates, you can do more fun things to see how they act in certain situations. How they act when they lose, when she loses. How does she act? Does she get all pissed off and mad, or she act helpless when she doesn't know how to putt-putt? I don't know. So that's the second date thing. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyone else? I'm here today, so I've got some more people. Yay! Again, Janet Moore. I call myself the Geek Whisperer. I help single men in tech with their confidence, connecting with women so they can get dates and girlfriends. So those of you that are on, today's session is a little different. It's where you ask me questions. So you type them in the post below. I can see them, and then I can answer your questions about first dates. So this is a first date Q&A session. Any other questions y'all have? What to say or do on a first date? I actually have a book for that. I have a book that tells you the 6 different conversations, like the typical ones that you would have when you're dating a woman. It actually tells you the different kinds of things you can say. Basically, you want to get to know her. You want to ask her about her. You want to try to do as little talking as possible. I remember I went on a date once with this guy, and oh my God, I could not even try. And I'm pretty good at making conversation, right? But this guy, I could not even, I was trying to insert myself, but I just couldn't do it. I even tried to interrupt him. I couldn't. He just kept talking. So if you get nervous, don't talk. Actually, be quiet. That sounds kind of weird, but ask questions. Be okay with a pause. Okay, that's a good question. So another thing is, like, I'm going to finish what I was saying. So on a first date, you definitely want to ask her questions. You want to have maybe the list of questions. I have my book that you can get. Ask Me About It. It's How to Talk to Women Like a Starship Captain. It's basically how to be confident on dates, the kind of things that you would say to a woman. I created that book because I was coaching men and they would ask me what to say, and I hear them writing it down over the phone. And I say, wait, hold on. So I have templates and examples on actually what to say. The biggest thing, though, is when you're on a date, you just want to get to know her, ask her questions about herself. And if you know anything about my mojo vibe, you want to insert your mojo vibe into the conversation to make you memorable and unique. So anyways, we can talk about that a little bit. Okay, your next question. Thank you for the question. What to do when my date, oops. Oh, shoot. Oh, let's do this. I think I can just show it. Yes, there it is. What to do when my date is so excited. Oh my gosh, you can hardly see me. What to do when my date is so excited about something that I don't have any idea about it, or vice versa. How to tackle that situation. Can you give me more specifics, like what particular subject? It's always great to have an example so I can give you more information. So maybe it's about, I don't know, maybe a Star Trek reference. I'm just thinking of something. Most of you young kids out there are mostly Star Wars fans, I think, more than Star Trek fans. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm both, as you can see here. Oh, I have both Star Wars and Star Trek. I can't see my Star Trek so much. Oh, there. That's my phaser, and that is my communicator. It's really cool. It's old school, of course. My communicator. Awesome. Anyways, in my Star Trek books, you probably can see them. There's things in the way. How do I hide it? There. My books and stuff, and then of course here's my Star Wars lightsaber, my little Star Wars guys. Of course, up here's Harry Potter. But anyways, maybe you're making a reference to Harry Potter. Somebody said that. You're making a reference to Harry Potter, and that person is like, I don't know. And then I would just say, oh, so you don't know about Harry Potter? Oh, okay. Well, and you just would kind of refer back to that. Well, you know, in Harry Potter, this is what happened. They have these things that they have these certain. They go to school and they have these certain spells, and they get the houses. So the different houses have different meanings, like like Harry Potter's house. I'm going blank on the name. Oh my god, I have this shirt. Anyways, Gryffindor. Yes, sorry. I don't know what you'd say about his, but Slytherin. They're kind of like bad guys, the bad boys. Some of the other ones are kind of more of the intellectuals, types that are always know about all the stuff, all of them and stuff like that. So, what house am I? Well, it's funny you say that. I actually went to a Harry Potter retreat a while back here. It's hard to on top of that one. I went to a Harry Potter retreat, or not a Harry Potter retreat, a Harry Potter like retreat. About a year and a half ago. It was November 2019, and it was so magical. It was so much fun. I had a blast. And they put us into house, and they can't you can't copyright. You can't say Slytherin and Gryffindor, and Hufflepuff, and all those. So you have to. So they made up their own names, and I can't remember the name of mine. But anyways, it was the equivalent of Slytherin, but I don't know. Everyone was so cool. We were all pretty new, and what was really exciting is that we won both the House Cup and we won the Quidditch Cup. We were the first house ever to win both, I think. And for that house, because they've been doing this stuff 5 years, we were the first one, so it was very exciting. I'm very competitive, so it was super awesome. So thanks for asking, Steve. But yeah, so as far as going back, what to do when my date is so excited about something I don't have any idea about. So ask. Say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to show, hey, I don't know what that is. Say, you know what? I don't know, that sounds cool, but I don't really know what that is. Can you tell me? Tell me more about that. Because I don't really understand. And then she hopefully will tell you. You go, oh, okay, I got it. And then vice versa. If you say something she doesn't understand, say, and she might act a little funny. She might be afraid to say, oh, I don't understand. So, oh yeah, maybe you don't understand. Have you not seen that before? She's like, yeah, no, actually, I haven't seen it. Okay, no problem. And then kind of give the background to it, right? And then explain that to her. Maybe could make you more connected, depending on if she's into that stuff or not. And that's nothing to look at. If she doesn't seem to understand you and just doesn't seem interested in it, then you might decide maybe she's not someone you want to date. I'm not saying you cut off just somebody, like throw out the baby with the bathwater or anything. I'm not saying that. But again, you get to see, that's what dating's all about, is getting to see if this is somebody I even want to be with. Okay. I don't know how many guys I've talked to that have dated women that did not like sci-fi movies, that did not, and said they wouldn't ever see sci-fi movies with their guy. And this guy loves sci-fi movies. I mean, you got to think, okay, is this woman that great? It didn't sound like this woman was very great. In fact, I think she was, poor guy. I don't know. I'm not going to go into that one, but so don't do that. Okay. Just hold your boundaries, stay strong on what you want, and you'll get it. Okay. Let's see. What's your next question? Oh yeah, Gryffindor. Yeah. Let's see. I'm a visual person. Okay, here's this one. I'm a visual person. I like movies and watching series. And one of my dates is into books and has never seen a movie in years, and she was not vibing with me. And the same thing happened on some other topics. Yeah, so exactly. So kind of what I'm saying to you is you get to choose, what's your must-haves? Do you have a list of your must-haves? Have you created a list of what you really want in a woman? That's something that I do with my coaching is I really have you look at what's important to you. Do you even know? Like you probably heard me say before, people spend more time figuring out the features of their car that they want, or their house or whatever, their bedroom decor. I don't know. Maybe that's a woman thing. I don't know. But you spend more time about looking at the kind of car you want than the kind of woman you want. So have you even thought about that? Do you know what kind of woman you want to be with? So that's something you want to look at. And must-haves. Maybe you're okay that she doesn't want to watch them. I don't know. For me personally, I don't know if I could date someone that wasn't into sci-fi or didn't want to watch it. If they just thought, oh, I'm not going to ever watch, that's ridiculous, then I couldn't date them. Now, if they're willing to watch and learn and, they're kind of newbies, like a baby, well, that's fine, as long as they seem really like into it, like they really want to. I don't want to make somebody like me, but, I want to have someone feel obligated that they should watch it because they want to please me. I don't want that. I want someone that actually would possibly really enjoy to learn and know about what I know. So that's what I would say about that one. Let's see. Yay for Gryffindor. Yes. Curious about. Oh, Mojo Vibe. Okay, great. Thank you. So your Mojo Vibe it's like your mojo, right? Because Austin Powers, right? So it's like what makes you memorable and unique. So it's usually 3 phrases or words that make you memorable and unique, and it's something you want to project out to the world, especially to women. But really, it's about you, who you are as a man, who you are as a person, and what do you want others to know about you. So again, it's 3 phrases or words. So it could be action-packed. Let's see. Action-packed, Java programmer, Java lover, or Java Renaissance man, or something. I don't know. I'm just making up some stuff. I'm trying to remember some of my previous clients' Mojo vibes. Mine, you could say, is action-packed Mojo mama, because I'm a mom and I'm my businesses before this were called More Mojo and Mojo Maker. So everyone in Austin used to know me as the Mojo Lady. I was the Mojo Lady. So because I created this Mojo vibe. Now, what's cool about your Mojo vibe, once you know and you define what your Mojo vibe, and I work with my clients to help you define what that is, then you can know the kind of stories then you create stories around your Mojo vibe. Things that women like, cool stories about your Mojo vibe that make you memorable and unique. So then you can insert them the conversations, and I teach you actually how to guide your conversations, because you can actually completely guide the conversation how you want it to go. And then not only can you use those Mojo vibe stories for conversation topics or weaving in the cool things about you, you can also put them in your online dating profile and tell stories inside your online dating profile. So that's another thing you do with them. And then the third thing, or actually there's lots of things you can do with your Mojo vibe, but one of the last things is how you look, like what you look like, what you're going to be wearing. What is that? Now, when I first started my business, I started clothing men. I'd get them a new style, get them all made over, but it wasn't how I wanted them to look. It was the way that they wanted to. Again, we would do their Mojo vibe, how they wanted it to be perceived. So once you have your Mojo vibe, are you in alignment with your Mojo vibe? Are you being your Mojo vibe? And that would be maybe the style, maybe what you do, what you say, where you go, what kind of car you drive. I've had men from this, 2 men got new cars from this exercise because they realized they were outdoorsy and nature lovers or whatever, action-packed guys. So they bought new cars. And another guy, he realized that he wanted to be an entertainer at his home, entertain people at his home. He remodeled his kitchen. I had a woman, she was a sailor. I think I've told this story many times. And now I just saw a post from her just like a few days ago. They're sailing in the Caribbean somewhere. They're just, they're on their boat. She lives on a boat with her husband. You know, so again, that's what is important. So then you start looking at your life and go, I want to be in alignment with my mojo vibe. How can I do that? So I help you do that. I have like all these things of where you can be in alignment. And then my big thing is it's kind of cool to know, but then what are you going to do about it and keep you moving forward? Going to take actions, right? So fucking Bill. And so, anyways, I'm laughing at these comments. So, anyways, that's your mojo vibe. It's actually a fundamental. So, if you work with me, that'll be one of the first things we do because it's the fundamental thing that I use throughout all of my coaching. It's useful for conversation topics. It's useful for your online dating profile. It's useful for updating your pictures on your online dating profile. All that kind of stuff. How you dress, all those things I mentioned before. Okay, let's see what we got here. Same here. Okay. Yeah, same here. I couldn't date someone who was not into sci-fi. I know. I don't know if that's listening or not, but I know it's they're not into it. As long as they won't watch it and they don't seem to enjoy it, it's just going to be really hard. It'll be hard. Okay, so any more questions? Curious about the mojo. I don't know who is that asked me that. Can you tell me who you are so I know who asked this one? I'm just curious who asked that one. Always fun to know who's listening in. So some of you, if you don't accept or do whatever some kind of link you need to click when you post the comments, I can't tell who you are. All I see is face, as you see here, all I see is Facebook user. This one as well. Yay, Gryffindor. Yes, that's actually my favorite. I was a little sad when I found out. And by the way, that Harry Potter retreat, they actually sort you into houses. The very first thing you do is they walk you in. It's all dark. It's not like the thing, but it was all dark, like a ceremony. They have you make a wand beforehand and you point it. I should have brought my wand in here that I made. And you point it at this crystal ball thing and it glows a certain color, and whatever that color is the house that you're in. It's a very cool ceremony. They did just a stellar job, I have to tell you. Highly recommend it. Okay, anybody have any other questions? See, here's Steve. See, he asked a question because he accepted it. So what house are you, Janet? So I can see him. So if you can and do whatever you need to do about accepting that, then I can tell who you are. Oh, hey. Okay, I'm going to probably completely mess up your name. Barath. Is that right? I hope that was right. Thank you, Barath, for asking those questions. I really do appreciate it. And those were all your questions. I really appreciate them. Appreciate that. So any more questions? I'm still here. Let's see, it's 30 after. I'm still here. I'm here for y'all. What kind of... I'm not sure either. I thought it was in the top, maybe in the post, or I don't know if anybody else can tell, because actually I don't know if I've ever been as a participant on a live stream like this before. So I'm not sure. Maybe somebody wants to post what you're supposed to do to help them out. I appreciate that, like Steve or Bill. Who else is on here? Bill. Yeah. There's other people, but I can't tell who they are. So any other questions about first dates or anything related? So one of the things that you want to do, is something that kind of give you some help there on first dates, is you want to make sure you prepare your date for your first date. Like if you want to have a successful first date, you don't want to just set the date and then just show up. You want to maybe call her. I don't know how soon you do it, but usually you want to do it about 5 days, 3 to 5 days. Well, 3 to 5 at the least, usually 3, but 5 days is best in advance, and maybe even a week. And then you want to call her, at least depending on how long the interval is, at least once, or maybe twice, and just say, hey, how are you doing? Looking forward to this weekend. Nowadays people text all the time, and that's cool. So you can text that. But if I were you, I would at least call the day before and just say, hey, looking forward to seeing you. Want to just confirm we're going to meet at this time at this place, and make sure that everything's good. Ask how her day was at work, things like that. So that's something definitely you want to do to make sure she shows up and she knows that you're into her. Because whether you believe it or not, I don't care what any books say. If you don't act like you're interested in us, it just kind of makes us go, ooh. So if you act like you're interested and you're excited about seeing us, and you're looking forward to it, and you're being gentlemanly, it's called being a gentleman actually, then we're going to be more likely to be more excited about you. Because when you become interested, remember this, when you become interested, you become interesting to us. Okay? So you want to act interested. Okay, that's why I say ask questions. Okay, here's another one. Here's another question. I'm not getting any matches in my online dating. How to meet people in mid-post pandemic. Okay, I forget what IRL means. I'm so sorry. I'm not the best at acronyms. In real life. There, I got it. Okay, figured it out. Thank goodness. Okay, I'm not getting any matches in my online dating. How to meet people in a mid-post pandemic in real life. Yeah, so my specialty is actually in real life. It's kind of funny, I've been kind of trying to get this business going. I finally launched it last year in March, right before the pandemic. Oh my God. And one of the things I love to do is my workshop. My workshop's an in-person workshop where I basically experientially, you will be transformed. Seriously. I do before and after pictures, or not pictures, sorry, videos. And the people look like different, like seriously, they look younger. They almost look different. It's like they're a different person. Their energy is completely different. They may come in and kind of, hi, I'm blah, blah. And then like, hi, I'm blah, 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 whatever. I'm Stacy, or I'm Bill, because I did it for both men and women back in the day. So, but anyways, that's my favorite workshop. And I was excited to do that with you guys, but of course the pandemic happened. So my specialty is teaching you how to go fish, like get out there and fish. So again, online dating, you want to know your mojo vibe. You want to know the type of woman you want. You want to be able to put that in your online dating profile. You want to make sure your pictures are super awesome, so they'll be more likely to swipe right than left. Okay, so those things you look at. I mean, I did an online dating challenge recently, about I guess it was February. It's been a while now, I guess. Let's think about doing another one soon. And what's really interesting about it is, you would not believe the pictures of some of these men. They're terrible. It's like, no wonder they don't get any dates. So you want to really be conscious and mindful of the kind of pictures you have, right? So just even that little bit, just go back and look at pictures, and maybe have some of your friends to go, are these good pictures or not? Maybe not a guy, but ask your girlfriend this and see what happens, okay? But as far as meeting people out and about, so there's a few ways, you can meet people on meetup groups on Zoom. It's a little trickier, but it's possible. I don't know. I don't know where you live, whoever that Facebook user is. And we're open in Texas. Like everything's open now. I went country western dancing twice now already. I'm so excited. Maybe I'll do that later tonight. It's fun of that. I met a guy. I met a guy last week, and now I have a new buddy at the country western dance place. I'm a big dancer. I'm a huge dancer, so I loved country western dance. So I went out there and I met some friends. And that's not anybody I want to date, but that's something you can do. Is go. Now I don't really like to go to bars and meet men, but I like to go to dance. So maybe get my dancer friends. But that's what you would do, is you would look at meetup groups, events, and things that are, again, who are you? What's your mojo vibe? Who are you? What do you want people to know about you? Then that's where you would go to find people, find women. And then of course you see women you like, you look at them, you use a squinch face. And then if they do the squinch face back or smile back and they seem like they're interested, then you go up and say hello. That's really all you do. Of course, there's barriers to that, and that's what the whole workshop is about. So I hope that answers your question. So figure out who you are, the kind of woman you want to meet, and then go to those places. Yes, I know a lot of places are still closed, but some are opening up. There's some things online. I would say get out there. I'm going to say something very controversial, but this is called a planned-demic. It's not what you think. You're going to be fine. You don't need to be worried about it. You should not take the vaccine. Yes, I said that. Don't do it. So anyways, that's what you should do. Get out there. I've even, in some of my coaching way back a while back, I even talked about creating a party, inviting your friends over, bring your single friends, having like a dinner at your house, or have a dinner. Hey, get like 4 of your single guy friends or girlfriends and say, well, not your girlfriends, your guy friends, and say, invite a single girl that's just your friend. And then y'all go out to dinner together. Or you have it at your house. If everything's closed down, have it at your house. I think even California is open, at least outside. So you got to be creative, right? Think of cool things you can do. And that's one of the things I'll do. If I coach you, I will work with you to come up with creative ways that relate to you and your mojo vibe that you can then think of ways to meet women. Okay. Okay, let me look. What else we got? Hope that answered your question. I don't know who that was. Okay, here's another one. In my past, I've been on multiple blind dates, and almost all my dates say I'm a gentleman, but I don't feel the romantic connection. Not sure how to be romantic on the first date without knowing the person. Okay, so I'm a gentleman. Okay. Well, it's going to be hit or miss. I know you can't see my mouth, but what to do about this? I guess I should. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, this is better. So, it's going to be hit or miss. It's great that you're being a gentleman. Don't give up on that. I don't know, of course, I'm not there, so I don't know what you're doing. But one of the things you think that they don't feel the romantic connection. So, do they say that they're attracted to you before you go on the date? Or when you say blind dates, like how blind is blind? Like, is it from, you've seen them online and then you meet, it's like a meet date, or is it completely blind? And who's setting you up on these dates? You know what I mean? So let me see, whoever said that, whoever asked this question, how blind was it when you say blind date? That's what I'm not sure about. How blind was the blind date? Please type in there and let me see what you said. No, it's completely blind. Okay, so who's setting you up on those dates? I'll ask that question. Who's setting you up on those dates? So I need to know that too. So anyways, if it's completely blind, you might ask questions before you go on those dates to your friend. That's one thing you might want to do. I would say, even to have more success, is I would have your friend, whoever's people that's sending you up on these blind dates. I don't know. Is it a dating service, or is it? Because even dating services, they'll show you pictures of people. Hold on a second. I've been set up by a matchmaker with no information. Oh, really? That's not good. So if I were you personally, because you have to pay for those dates, like you have to pay, like you only get so many, like 12 or 10 or something. I would make sure that you get to see a picture of her and she gets to see a picture of you, and to make sure there's some kind of, and maybe more than one picture, right? Because I've seen like one picture of a guy and he looks super hot here, but then I see the other ones, I'm like, oh, not so much. I'm not like, I don't have to have a hot guy, but there's something about whatever you can see in pictures about men. So if I were you, I would make sure you give her some good pictures of yourself that are true to you. You don't want to go. I remember I went on this date this is a long time ago, before my daughter was born, and I went on this date with this guy. He had wonderful pictures. I met him, and he was at least 10 years older. And he admitted they were old pictures, like that old. And he was old. He was still good looking, but it just was that he was misrepresenting himself that really upset me. It wasn't so much that he was old as much, and he still looked good. It's just that he misrepresented himself. And I thought that was kind of shady, right? So you want to make sure you have pictures that are up to date that look like you. You want to make sure your matchmaker is showing her your pictures and vice versa. So that's one thing, to at least set the stage for a potential connection, right? And then when you go on the date, I don't know what you're doing on the date, or you're being a gentleman, but are you being too nice? And I don't mean by nice like, you want to be a gentleman. There's a fine line between being a gentleman and being a man, like masculine man. Like Are you asking her questions about herself? Are you inserting your Mojo Vibe story? Saying some cool stories about yourself that make her go, ooh. Like, so I went on this date and I was like, this guy, nah. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go out with him because he's plenty good looking. Wouldn't have a problem kissing on him and stuff, but he didn't like sci-fi movies. He said he would watch them with me, but he's like, I don't want to watch. I'm like, I'm not gonna go on a date with him but he was like very persistent, and I'm like, he goes, I really want to meet you. I'm like, okay, fine. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go on this date and meet him. Ended up, we had some things in common, and that really made me connect with him even more. So when you have some connection and you can kind of find out those things that y'all are connected and y'all have like a passion for, that makes, again, I know how to say this. When you become interested, you become interesting. So I don't know what your dynamics of your dates were, right? When you say gentleman, does that mean you just held the door for her, and made sure she ordered? Make sure she ordered first. Like, I don't know what you mean by gentleman exactly. Let's see. So I was dating. Okay, it was a dating service. Okay, here he put something else. It was a dating service, and they just say the name and some common interest and up here anything. Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I think that's hurting you. You want to make sure you like the girl and make sure she likes you before you go on a date, right? So I would say, I mean, think of it, like how many of us would really want to go on a date blindly with somebody on from a website? No, we wouldn't, right? So again, that is at least to start you off with success. The next thing I would say is when you're talking to her, when you become interested in her, asking her questions, and the thing that I teach that's like, it's like the secret sauce is being able to repeat what she says after she says it, and then get the feeling behind it. If you can do that, and I teach that, in my training when I'm coaching you, is then she will fall in love with you. Because I've had that happen to so many guys. They do this thing that I teach them, and they go, wow. And it happens. And in eye contact, are you making eye contact with her? Okay, so I pretty much ask her about her, make her feel special, and mostly her says, I get to know about my date and being friendly. I'm not sure if I'm being friend zoned or I make the conversation boring somehow. Yeah, so another thing, are you touching? Like she might not be touching you, but do you touch her? You don't have to touch her like in crazy places, So, but like you touch her on her arm or your arm or something like that. And then here's the thing, a hint. If a woman is touching you, she likes you. Now you touch her and see if she touches you back, but again, it could be the arm, the shoulder, or something. You don't grab her or anything. But are you being playful? The fact that you don't get to see each other beforehand is huge. So I don't know. It just could be that. I mean, again, if you didn't get to see this woman beforehand, she didn't get to see you. She just may not be attracted to you. I mean, think about it. How many if you like pick 10 random women on your online dating profile and you had to meet them, like there's 10, you didn't get to pick the 10, they just showed up. The first 10, like between this time showed up. How many of those women would you actually be attracted to? Maybe none of them. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. It's a kind of a crapshoot. I know you have a matchmaker helping you, but still, here's what I do know about some matchmakers. Not saying all matchmakers. I was part of matchmaking service, or I wasn't a matchmaker. I was in a match. I'm paid to get dates years and years and years ago, in my, I guess, early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, and they would use me as the first date girl for all these guys because I was pleasant, I'm attractive, I'm pleasant, and I treated everyone with respect, and I was, and everyone liked going on dates with me. So they used me as the first one, and they would not count that towards my number of dates, right? So I know they do that. It doesn't mean I like them, but of course I didn't really like these guys, and I'm like, why are you matching me with these guys? These guys aren't for me. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but would you just do us a favor? I'm like, oh man, you know. So that's actually when I started doing my dating coaching. I would actually coach these guys. I would tell them what they were like, how they could look like more fun, like their dress, their clothing, the way that they were being. I would coach them. That's actually how I kind of started coaching them. I didn't even know this till later. I'm like, oh my god, I was coaching men back when these people would ask me to go on dates with guys that I knew that weren't my match. Like, oh, please go, please go. Okay, so that's what I did. So again, seeing what they look like is, I think, very important. And making sure they see and that they're okay with you too. I think it's really important. And again, try to put in some playfulness when you're on the date. This guy asked me, what am I looking for? So I told him I was looking for. And he said, oh, I want to do that too. And I'm like, oh, I like this and like that. Oh, really? So when you have things in common, it makes it a lot more fun to be connected, right? So I don't know. Let's see. What else did you say? Oh, how to initiate physical touch without being a creep and how to gauge the frequency. Yeah, I would do just a couple of times, 2, 3 at the most, depending on how long the date is. So again, just touch them on the arm or on the shoulder, like if they're like you're sitting maybe across the table. It's going to be hard, obviously, but if you're hopefully you're sitting, you probably want to make sure you position yourself this way too. See better my arm, my hands. So you want to make sure, like, here's the table. You make sure you're sitting here and over here, like at the corners, right? Here and here at this table. You don't want to sit across from her. If you're at a, what do you call it, a booth, of course you're going to be sitting across from her. It's going to be hard to reach over and grab her and touch her. It's going to be kind of weird, right? Maybe. It depends. If it's short, her hands are there and you might touch her hand. So you just go, oh yeah, like that, touch her like that. If she pulls away, well, that's not a good sign. But if she likes it, then maybe a little later, you can, do more, like kiss her or something, or hold her hand or whatever. So the same guy, we went walking around, right? So we went walking around, and I was showing him the squinch face, by the way, and then he just came right up to me and kissed me. It was awesome. And there was something about now my body language was such that he knew he could just come and kiss me. Now, if he'd come up to me trying to kiss me, and I would have kind of gone like this, or oh whoa, or oh hey, then that was fine. But hey, he tried, and he kissed me, and it was really good. And then we went and kissed some more later. But my point is, sometimes just go for it. Now, and one thing you want to never do, I know it sounds like so. People are going to say, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. Don't ask to kiss her. Never ask a woman to kiss you. Don't ever ask a woman if you can kiss her, ever. Don't do it. I know this is called stupid consent culture. Yes, I believe in consent, but consent looks like she allows you to kiss her. If she doesn't want to kiss you, she goes, no. Then you just back off, right? But you go in, you be the masculine man and you go for it, right? So some ways you can know that if she's into you is when you touch her, she doesn't back away. She's laughing and giggling with you. She's looking in the eyes, in her eyes, and you're laughing and smiling. You might even just not even say anything and just smile, and just look at each other. So those are some of the things that you can do. Let's see. We were about to ask that question. What was the question? I don't know what the question was, but what I was talking about. So while you read my mind, he says, I was just about to ask that question. And which question was that? When to kiss her? I'm just curious. No, yeah. So Bill says, no, don't ask a woman to kiss her. It's awkward for one thing. It's just weird. Like, well, I guess. It just feels very wimpy to ask a woman. Oh, yeah, okay. It feels to me as a woman very wimpy to ask me. Of course, maybe I'm a unique woman. I don't know. Sorry, it's I'm crazy. So I would say, don't ask her. Now, again, if you don't grab her and throw her around and shit, but but you just go in for the kiss. And another thing you can do is you can walk up to her and linger right about to see if she pulls away. If she doesn't pull away, then go for it. Now, she pulls away, goes, ah, then don't do it. But go up to her and just go right, oops, and just and get right close to her. And then if she pulls away, like, ah, then okay, no. But if she just stays there, that means she wants it. So do it. Yeah, don't ask. I mean, I know Bill, you're saying, but I just wouldn't. For one thing, I think, again, like I said, it makes it more awkward. Thank you, Bill. I would definitely not ask it. And there again, like I said, there's ways to know. Are y'all vibing in your conversations? If you're not, then it's probably not going to work. You might look when you're having conversations. Well, what is going wrong in the conversation? Are y'all just not vibing on topics? When you talk and you're asking her questions, she just doesn't get you. Sometimes that just happens, you know? So maybe that's just somebody you don't want to, it just didn't work out. And you probably want to end the date as soon as possible. And be always gracious. You want to have good karma, right? Good karma. So be gracious. Thank you. See you later. And that's it. And be done, right? Oh, mask. Oh, God. Dude. I live in Texas. Glasses are, oh, sorry. Not that one. It makes it more awkward with masks on during these days. Yeah, so when you're walking around outside, there's no reason to have a mask on. There's like zero reason to have a mask on if you're outside. Okay? So I would take the lead and take that damn mask off when you're walking around outside. And say something, oh, it's so nice, this air. You know, and I don't know how you are, but if you're a mask guy, you got a mask girl, well, I don't know, man, that's gonna be pretty freaking tricky to kiss her. You're right. Yuck. Oh. You might say, hey, you want to take your mask off? It's such a nice night. You can smell the air and smell the what's in the air. Maybe some bushes that have some cool smells like roses or whatever. Oh, you live in New York. Okay, I feel sorry for you. I'm so sorry. People that in New York and California, I'm very sorry. You should move to Texas. Everybody's moving to Texas. My property just went up $150,000 in the last 3 months because I live in Austin, Texas. Not kidding. So, oh my God, we're really late here. Yeah, so everyone's moving to Texas, Austin, Texas. Oh, yes. Hello, little derpy. Yes, I do. Talk to tech guys in tech. I affectionately call y'all geeks, okay? Because I'm a geek too. Yeah, so as far as New York City goes, the best thing I can say about that is be the change. Be the change. Like really, every single one of you, be the change. Don't wear the mask. Just stop wearing your masks. I'm not gonna be political here, I don't care. Stop wearing your masks. There's no reason to wear a mask at all. Zero. So stop doing it. Be the change, and maybe other people will, see you as the leaders, or somebody's got to be the one. Why not you? Stop wearing your mask, and when you're on dates with women, say, hey, because look, when you're on a date and you're eating, what are y'all doing? Masks? No masks on, right? Okay. So then when you go outside and walking around, don't put the mask on. They will not arrest and shoot you in New York City if you don't have a mask on. Now, maybe in Taiwan, I don't know, but I'm talking to Americans right now. I don't think anybody's listening to this that's not in America right now, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's some people in the UK. But they will not arrest or shoot you if you're outside without a mask. Again, if all of us decided not to have masks, then there was nothing they could do about it. We all have to stand together. Makes me laugh when they wear it in a public park. Stay home if you're that afraid. Oh, I know, it's ridiculous to wear a mask outside or in your car by yourself. So be the change. Stop wearing masks. Start kissing women. There, I said it. Go on dates with women. Be the masculine man. Take charge. So that's another thing inside the date. Say, hey, this is, if this is going well, again, you get to gauge. Is she laughing with you? Are y'all having fun in the conversation? Y'all really jiving in the conversation? If you aren't, let it go. Just be next, right? Don't beat yourself up. It just didn't work out. Especially if you're being set up by somebody They don't even get to see what they look like. It's not your fault, okay? So it's all good. Don't beat yourself up about that. So the next thing is, if you do see him, do you like him, and hopefully you get to know about some things that you do have in common before you meet. And I would say you would want that before you meet. Like, don't even meet a woman if she doesn't have the things you're looking for. Ask her questions to see. I actually will not date someone that is going to take the vaccine. I won't date him. And if they wear a mask, I don't want to date him either. I'm very strict about it. So I'm also strict about some other things too. I just won't even meet men that don't have, again, what are your boundaries? What are those things on your list? Have you created a list of the kind of woman you want to date? Do you know? Again, like the car thing, you know about your car, but you know about a woman. Do you really know? Stand strong and say what you want. Because you know what? Because then if you go on a date with a woman that is similar to you and what you're looking for, then you have lots to talk about. When you talk about Harry Potter or Star Trek, and the different timelines in Star Trek, they'll understand what you're talking about, and they'll be fascinated by it, and you can have great discussions about time travel and how does it really work? Does it work like it does in Star Trek? And what's that movie called? Or Back to the Future? Or does it work like in the Marvel movies? Like, well, how does it work? Of course, we don't really know, but it's like kind of fascinating to talk about. At least for me, it would be. See, so you want to get a woman that is going to be having the same kind of things that you want in a woman, the things similar to you, I would guess, right? That's why you really want to know who you are, because then you can kind of see the kind of woman that you might want to be with. Okay, so let's see, during your first dates, let's see. So again, get to know these women before you go on a date with them. Then you have a higher probability of a great date, first date. During first dates, there's a certain level of uncertainty and nervousness. Should we try to hide the anxiety and nervousness? Great confidence, or it's better to be vulnerable during first dates. Okay, so tell me more about that. Like, hide your anxiety. So one things that I was taught years ago, for when you get up and speak in front of people, is when you're nervous, is to actually say, I'm very nervous. I'm shaking, actually. I'm shaking. I can't believe how nervous I am. A lot of times distinguishing or actually acknowledging it has it go away. So that's something you could say. You could say, hey, so yes, being vulnerable is always best. Being transparent and vulnerable is always good. So you could say, you know what? I was really nervous to meet you. I really think a lot, and hopefully you've asked a bunch of questions, right? So you know that this is a woman that you want to actually really, really meet, not just because she's a cute little thing, but because she actually has some things that you like about, some things in common. So, I'm really nervous because I really, really like that we have all these things in common. So if I act a little weird or a little awkward, that's what's going on with me. Just say it. And you know what might happen? The nervousness and awkwardness will go away. It's usually distinguishing. Distinguishing things has them a lot of times disappeared, or you get to choose them at least. And then she'll feel like, oh, and then hopefully, being a woman, we go like, oh, we want to nurture our men and make them feel like, oh, it's okay, it's all good. If she's a good girl, that is. She's not a good one, then she acts weird about you being nervous, then oh my God, you don't want to date her either. Think about it. If you came to your woman, you were dating her, you're like, in a relationship, and you had something happen, you were sad about something, or upset about something, and she said, oh, poo on you. Blah. Would you really want to date a woman like that? I wouldn't want to date a guy like that personally. So that's what I would do. Yes, I would definitely. That's a good question. I would say something. I say, I'm nervous. As far as confidence goes, a lot of times why you don't have confidence and why you have nervous and anxiety is because you're thinking. You're thinking about things. You're predicting the future, worried about it. You're predicting the future usually in the negative. You're worried that it's going to go bad. And that's why you're nervous and have anxiety. So if you stop thinking, I think I mentioned this before, stop thinking. Don't do it. Don't do thinking. Stop it. And just be in the moment. You be in the moment, be here now. You heard this, and there's lots of people writing about it. You be present, be in the moment. When you give your gift of presence, I think I had one of my other live streams. When you give the gift of your presence and you really be with that woman, the nervousness and anxiety will go away because you're not thinking anymore. You're actually being with that person in the moment, in the now. And all there is to do is just be there with her. Usually what happens when you're nervous or in anxiety is because, and you said uncertainty too, is because you're thinking about how it's could go bad. And that's not good. So what you want to do before a first date, and I actually teach this in my stuff, is I teach you some techniques on how to get your energy up and also how to visualize. You want to visualize how it's going to go well. Actually visualize that for whatever reason that guy, I knew I was going to kiss him. And not because I knew it was good. I didn't know it was going to go well, but I just visualized what I wanted to happen. Even our second date went really amazing. And it's exactly how I wanted it to go because I visualized it, how I wanted it to go. Years ago, when I was speaking on stage at this one particular conference that I had to memorize, I've spoke lots of times, but I had to memorize it. I was like, oh my God, I've never had to memorize. I always had like a slide and I could talk to a slide. But this one, I didn't have anything, nothing. I had to memorize my speech. And I visualized myself for like 2 months before I did it. Guess what? I went up there and I aced it. Now, guess what? I forgot at one point. Luckily, I had some notes. I could hold some notes. And I looked down, see where I was, calmly went back up and said, I lost my place. And then I started right back up. And I actually had people come up to me. I had a standing ovation for that particular speech, by the way. And I had people come up to me and say, you know what? That was I learned a lot from you screwing up, but coming back on track. Like, I lost my place, yes. But the way that she said that I came back, because I acknowledged I didn't try to act like I didn't screw up. I just said I screwed up. Oops, I screwed up. Let me get back on track. Or I said, oop, I lost my place. Let me see where I am right now. I calmly looked down, because I was freaking out a little bit. And then I said, oh, there I am. Okay, I see where I am now. Okay, and then I started from there. And what's really interesting too is some people before me were acting crazy nervous. And they acted nervous the whole time because they didn't ever acknowledge. In fact, people could tell that they seemed awkward because they were acting nervous instead of acknowledging that they were nervous. If they would have acknowledged it, it probably would have dissipated. So that's what you can do on dates when you're nervous. Again, you're predicting the future, stop thinking, and then create. So usually, again, you're thinking about negative possibilities as opposed to positive possibilities. Okay, so start thinking positive. About visualize how you want it to go. Let's see what else we got. Bingo. My problem. That's my problem. Overthinking. Okay, sorry. Oh, it's from YouTube. Okay. Bingo. Yes, that's your problem, is overthinking. Yeah. So a lot of times what I tell people is to first notice your thinking and go, oh my God, there I go again. I do that thing I do, and just stop it. So another thing you can do is say, up until now, I used to always think this. Just acknowledge your mind going nuts. Go, oh my God, there I go thinking about like how it's going to go bad. Okay, stop. Up until now, that's how I used to think. Now I'm going to think this way and start creating. So you're going to be in the present and in creation in the positive, not the negative. Okay, not worried about, because anytime you're worried, you're creating a future that's negative, and worried it's not going to go the way maybe you want it to go. Okay, so stop that and just be in the present. And just be, because the other thing, if you're really present with her, again, that's a gift. She's gonna see that you're really with her. And when you become interesting, remember I said that? Interested, sorry. You become interesting. So when you're really present with her, there's going to be this connection that's made. So these are really great questions. We still have a lot of people on. We have 7 people on. So Today is my first date Q&A. So if any of y'all have questions, please put them in the comments. Oh, let's see. What are the topics that we should never touch in first dates? Oh, I might have missed one. Oh, what are the top 5s and do's or don'ts? Okay, here's one. I missed that one. Sorry. Which is kind of related to the last one. Let's see, 5 do's. Well, 5 do's is you want to be asking no questions. I don't know 5, but I'll just list off some. You definitely want to make sure you're asking her questions. You want to insert your mojo vibe so she'll remember some cool story about you. Your mojo vibe story, sorry. So she'll remember who you are, make you memorable and unique. You definitely want to ask her about her. You want to be present. I kind of said all these things, but in a different way, not listed in the list. If you can, I would say try to touch her from time to time. I personally say kiss her on the first date, but that's because I'm very, what's the best way to say this? Is sexual the right word? I'm very sensual, sexual. It's very important to me how a person kisses. So if a guy can't kiss, I can't date him. So there's no reason to waste our time getting to know each other if they can't kiss. So I personally like kissing on the first date, even if it's just a little bit of a kiss, not a crazy kiss, but just to see if they know what they're doing. I went on a date, I guess about 3-4 weeks ago now with a guy. Poor guy, came all the way from California. I mean, he didn't just to come see me, but he came to see his daughter and we met. And his hard tongue, man. Ugh. But you know what? That was good. Now I know I don't want to date him. I don't want to have to teach him how to kiss. Ugh. I tried that before. It didn't work. So I would say try to kiss her. She acts like she wants to. She's got to give you the right cues. Be a gentleman. Open the doors for her. Help her into the chair. Let her order first, or you order for her. She tells you what she wants. You be the man and take charge of that. You say, hey, let's go here next. You think there's some rapport? You say, hey, let's go here next. Don't say, hey, what do you want to do now? Be the man and take charge. Don't ask her if you can kiss her. I've already kind of said these before. Don't talk about your ex and on and on and on. You might say, oh yeah, the last girl I dated, it was a while back, but don't go into the whole story in the background of your exes and stuff like that. Try to keep it light and fun. Don't try to get in the story of your sordid, childhood or anything. Try to keep it light and fun, right? So that's a do, I guess. Keep light and fun. Don'ts. What's some other don'ts? Don't talk too much. Ask her questions and let her talk more. I don't know, what's some other don'ts? I have more do's and don'ts. Don't be in your head. Be present with her. So don't be worried about how it's going to go. Be present with her. Stuff like that. Okay, so hopefully that was at least 5 of those each. Okay, let's see. I have money in the market, and most women don't understand math or finances, so they aren't worthy of my time, honestly. Okay, well, if it's important to you, and that's a must-have, then that's good. You want to find a woman that understands math and finance. So that's fine. That's good. But you want to make sure that maybe before you go on a first date, you make sure that's somebody you would want to ask on a first date that's into that. And then you want to go places where women talk about finance and money, that are interested in that. That's fine. Let's see. What else? Bingo. Oh, here's the one. Okay. Well, okay. I kind of mentioned that. Some topics again: your exes, your sad childhood, potentially. I think it's okay to talk about politics and religion, because if that's important to you, then you should totally bring it up. If that's not important to you, I don't know. I personally would bring it up. But to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't even be on a date with a guy unless I knew some of these things first. So that's me. Again, I'm like, if they're going to take the vaccine, if they're that a sheep to the world and don't really know what's going on, I don't want to date them. That's me. If they voted for Biden, I wouldn't date him. Like that's me. I just wouldn't, because they're a completely different mindset than me. I want someone that thinks like me. So that's what I would do. But I wouldn't even go on a date with them. And if they think like you, it's kind of fun to bring some stuff up, because it's kind of fun to talk about this. I'm all, I call myself a truth seeker, not a conspiracy theorist, but it's kind of fun to talk about that stuff. I'm kind of passionate about it. I like talking about it. So I would say it depends. Yeah, it is a cabal takeover. So I don't think I know I see a lot of dating coaches say, don't bring up politics, don't bring up religion and all that. I'm like, I call bullshit on that. If it's not important to you, fine, then then why not talk about it? Or whatever. But I would find out before you even go on a first date. Like, to have a successful first date, you need to ask a lot of questions before you even set the date. You get to know that person. If it's online, or if you meet them out and about, you're just talking, kind of asking some things about themselves to get to understand. You might say, indirectly say, I don't know, how did I ask indirectly? I've been asking, so what do you, I say something, so what do you think about all this vaccine stuff? Or what do you think about wearing masks? What's your stance on that? Or what's all, or like that, and just see, what do you think about all this Biden stuff? Or what do you think about all this presidential election stuff? And just see what they say, And then I'm saying this before you actually go on your first date, before you set the first date, get to know them. A lot of times I think why first dates aren't very successful is because you're dating people you probably have no business being on a first date with. Oh, wow, imagine that. So take responsibility for your dating life and only go on dates with women that are worthy of you and the kind of person that could be a match for you. Okay, so think about that. Let's see. Okay. Any more? We still have 6 people on. Any more questions about first dates? So it's been fun. I never did one quite like this before. Okay, well, if nobody has any more questions, here's one. First date, okay, after the first date, if my date decided to go home, how many days should I wait to check? Okay. Okay, that's a good question. So after a first date, if my date decided to go home, how many days should I wait to check on her for next plans? Okay, so I'm not sure what you mean by she decided to go home. Like the date didn't go very well, and she just decided to end the date quickly. I don't really understand what that means. If you can be more specific, that would be nice to know. But here's what I'm going to say about that. You always, because this is a do. I should have thought about this. This is a very do thing on a first date. Always set up your second date. Always. You might not have exactly the plans, like you might not know exactly what restaurant you're going to, but you're going to a restaurant, or you're going to go, maybe you're going to go on a fun activity, whatever it is, and you're going to go on a Saturday, maybe not exactly the time, but you say, let's go Saturday around 6. What do you say? I would personally put a date on it. I mean, a time. So on the first date, if she says, oh, I need to go, I said, well, hey, I'd like to see you again if you want to see her again. I don't know how, she decided to go home. Was she not vibing with you? I don't know what went on. Yeah, set up the second date during the first date. Yeah, at the end. When it's closing down, either y'all getting ready to have the check come, and that could, around the check coming, getting time, or bill paying time, or whatever. You say, hey, I've had a really great time with you. I like to get to know you. I like to see you, and let's go do this. Maybe y'all talked about something that y'all both like to do. Look back on your conversations. What were some things that maybe she mentioned or you mentioned that she seemed excited about? Hey, you said you like this. Let's go do that. Maybe this time it's a movie. Hey, yeah, we like that new Harry Beast, whatever it's called, Harry Beast. You know what I'm talking about. Fantastic Beasts. Or there's all these new Marvel movies coming out now soon. Black Widow and all that. Say, hey, I know you said you like Marvel. That Black Widow movie's coming out next week. Let's go see that. Maybe afterwards we can go out for a drink or something. What do you say? Does that sound like fun? She's like, yes, let's do it. Okay, let's do, how about this Saturday? I'll have to see the times, but how about Saturday in the evening between like 7 and 8? What do you think? Let's do that. Or hey, let's have dinner. There's this restaurant, we were talking about Italian food. Oh, let's go do that. I don't go dancing. Remember? Oh, let's go dancing. I want to take you dancing. I want to take you out for a spin. I don't know. I'm just silly. But set the date always. That's like a do, like a number one do at the end of her first date. And always walk her to her car unless she acts weird. And if she acts weird, then you probably don't want to date her. I mean, seriously, the woman doesn't want to ask you on a date. I mean, take you to her car. That's a very gentlemanly thing to do. Then you probably don't want to date her. She can't trust men, then she's got some serious issues. So just let her go. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. Was that you, Baron? I don't know who that was that asked that question, but why did she decide to go home early? Or was that early, or did she decide to go home? I don't understand what that was. But always asks, yes, set up the second date during the first date. Yes. I don't know who that was. Again, I can't see your names. Yes, always set up the second date during the first date. Oh, for every date. You have the second date, set up the third date. Third date, set up the fourth date. Until you become a girlfriend. She's your girlfriend, right? And you have that conversation about that. Because if you keep seeing each other after that, you probably implied you're going to see each other the next day. But say, hey, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? But still, you're going to say that, whatever date, X date that is, end date that is, right? And it's number 10. Okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll say, hey, you know what? I got so much going on tomorrow. I'll see you in 2 days. Let's get together in 2 days. At least something, but you're always going to create the next date. Okay? Did that hopefully answer your questions? We still have 6 people here. Oh my God. Do you like funny guys? Yes, I do. I know you like funny though. I don't like sarcastic men. Okay, it was a successful date and we got to check and I said, do you want to do something else? She said, no, I have plans early, so I have to. No. Yes, so that's fine. She doesn't, and that's perfectly fine because she may need to go do something and maybe it's getting late. So that's fine. She's had plans, so that's fine. So, but you could say, okay, well, I'd like to take you. You could talk about dancing or whatever the thing y'all might have talked about. Hey, I want to see you again. How about we see each other this or a week from today, or let's do lunch, or let's do dancing, whatever. Again, just ask her during that date. Okay. And that's fine. That doesn't mean it wasn't a successful date just because she went home early. She might really do want to. Plus, there's this, there are these books that tell women to not act too interested, right? So maybe she was really busy, or maybe she just wanted to act like she was busy. I'm just saying. They say those in those books. I read them. Anything else? And thanks for answering my question. Got 5 people still. Any more questions about first dates before we go? If I don't see any more, I'm going to give you all another few minutes here. So any of you that would like to have someone like me be able to help you navigate this dating world out there, type below, I think it was first date. No, I said I like humor. I just don't like sarcasm. Yeah, so for those of you that are interested in looking at having me coach you, I put in the comments below first date, and I will contact you, reach out to you, and see how I can work with you to help you. The thing about having a coach is you have accountability, right? Keep you moving forward. Left on your own, you might do it eventually, or you do a little bit here, do a little bit there, instead of actually moving forward. So the first thing we'll do is we'll have a 2-hour session where I really dig deep and we come up with a dating game plan. Now, you can actually just have that 2-hour session with me and then do the dating game plan on your own. Or you can do one of my programs where that's the first thing we do, and then I make sure you implement it. Help you with your online dating profile, do all kinds of things, and make sure every week you're moving forward. You do that thing, you come back, okay, Janet, this didn't work. What do I do now? Or this worked. Now what do I do? Okay, this is what you do. Things like that. So I'll recommend anything to make girls laugh. Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how you can tell a joke, I guess, and if the joke's bad, I guess they won't laugh. But you can say, "Oh, that was really bad," and then we can laugh about how bad it was. So, um, I don't know about. I mean, I don't know exactly how to make women laugh. You just be funny, and I don't know how to do that. I just know some men are really funny and some are not so funny, and I think it's just being playful. If you're good at playful banter, um, making jokes about silly things, but whatever you do, you can be a little risque, but not too risque. He asked about that. He goes, is it risque too? It depends. I would try to keep it clean, at least the first date. I wouldn't do that. Maybe, I don't know, it just depends. If she brings it up, yeah, go ahead. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about yeah, funny is good. I had a thought and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I was gonna say a don't about it though is never put them down. Don't make fun of her, because that turns men and women off big time. Now I know PUA guys, they always teach that. Pickup artist guys, coaches, they teach you to kind of put the woman down. And I've actually had some guys that PUA guys try to do that with me, and I'm just like, ew, yuck, you must be a PUA guy. And that turns me off big time. Now, if you're an insecure woman, yeah, maybe you'll go along with it, but I don't know. Maybe you want an insecure woman. I don't know, but I wouldn't want one personally. And I don't know what that means. So again, you can be funny, but don't be funny and put her down. But you can still be funny without putting someone else. That's why I say sarcasm. I really like sarcasm because I know, like my daughter, when she was younger, all her friends were being sarcastic. They put each other down all the time. It was horrible. It was junior high, of course. Like, don't be junior high. Stop. To me, sarcasm is all about you're stuck in your junior high years still. So just stop with it. And I'll be like, oh my God, Jessica. And she goes, well, we're just being sarcastic. That's what we do. It's what we do, Mom. It's okay. I go, no, it's not okay. It's never okay to put somebody down. So I wouldn't do that ever. Don't do it. As far as making girls laugh, I don't know if you know some cool jokes, maybe. But just in the moment, you see something that you can make. I don't really like making fun of people either, or groups of people or anything. I don't like that either. So I wouldn't do that. Anything where you're putting anybody down. Don't make fun of the waiter or waitress or people on the other table. Things like that. I would keep it fun and light. Okay, so what's this one? Do you not want to be a falsehood and be yourself, right? Control. I don't know what that means. Bill, that last question you wrote, I have no idea what that means. Okay. Any more? Because I'm not really a funny person. I mean, I can be funny, but I'm just not like funny is not my thing. Like one of my guys, his Mojo Vibe was funny. He was super funny. In fact, he became I think I mentioned him before. I always thought he should do stand up, but he ended up doing improv. He became an improv guy, and then he became an actor. He was a lawyer. He changed careers talking about the Mojo Vibe stuff. This guy was a lawyer who, after the Mojo Vibe, because I told him, you're so funny, you should be a stand-up comedian. He did improv, and he became an actor, and now he's an actor and a writer. Completely out of the Mojo Vibe exercise. So again, like I said, when you work with me, you might be surprised. You might end up on a boat sailing around the world. with your beloved. Or this guy's also married as well, a lawyer that became. You might change careers. You might find something that you really love to do, because your mojo vibe is about really being true to yourself. Figuring out who that person is and being in alignment with that, and start doing things that are in alignment with who you are. Because when you're in alignment with who you are, you're going to be and enjoy. You can be passionate, and women are going to be attracted to that. So, oh, you're welcome. Thanks for asking the questions. I don't know who that was, if that was brought up or not, but thanks for asking all the questions. So again, being true to yourself, knowing who you are, and being in alignment. That's what I do in my coaching. I make sure you create that mojo vibe, and you're being in alignment with your mojo vibe. So then you can be projecting that out consistently, right? So then people know who you are, the women, and then they go, ooh, I want that. And then if you know who you are and you go after the women that are like who you are, it's just going to be easy to have a match. That's why my clients are so successful. It's because they got that mojo vibe down. They have their life in alignment. And that has them be able to magnetize that person to them. If you don't have that, then that's why it doesn't work. Because you're just like, whatever. I'm like, you're like, whatever. I'm just whatever. And then you're going to get whatever. And it's like, blah. You know? So that's why I think maybe your love life's not working. Let me get that down. No. Okay. What do you do when you like her? Okay, what do you do when you like her and make sure she doesn't want to, and make sure she doesn't get want? Okay, so she doesn't feel the same about you, you're saying. So what do you do when you like her, but she doesn't, and make sure she doesn't get, but she might not feel the same. Well, if she doesn't feel the same way about you, there's not really much you can do. And here's the thing, you want to have a woman that really likes you for you. Go see that movie, The Ugly Truth. I know it's rom-com, but go see that movie. It's really good because it's about a woman who wants this doctor guy, and she becomes someone that the doctor guy would fall in love with. And then she gets him, but she's not being herself. And she realizes that, and then she decides to tell him the truth. It's that she doesn't like this. She doesn't like that. All the things he said he liked, she said she lied and said she liked. So then she ended up with the guy, of course, it's a rom-com. Come on. She ended up with the guy at the end that was liked her for her. So yeah. As far as, I don't know the situation specifically, why she doesn't like you. I don't know if you're not being the masculine man. I don't know if you don't have anything in common with her. I don't know all the specifics. It's really hard to answer that question. I don't know what you're saying, Bill. I don't understand what you mean. But that's what I would say about that. Is you don't want to become someone, unless you want to become that, and that's who you want to be, then that's fine. But if you, I would say, as far as the woman goes, you can try to win her heart. I mean, I know my parents. My dad asked my mom out, and she said no, because she thought he was a big flirt, and he was. He's a Gemini, and she was a Pisces, very, very emotional, sensitive people, and Geminis are like the playboys of zodiac. Okay, and so she was like, "Oh, no, I can tell you're a playboy guy. I'm not going to go because you're just going to try to whatever be a playboy guy, and I'm not into playboy men." So she said no, but he kept being persistent, and finally she went on a date with him, and she told me the very first date she knew that he was the one. But I'm not saying that you can't keep asking a woman out or whatever, but you want to be yourself, and eventually they may say yes. So not being yourself is good because eventually you can't help but be yourself because how many times have you, I can't lie, okay? So I lied once at my parents' 50th wedding anniversary party. We were doing a surprise party. And I lied and I said I went to this Saks Fifth Avenue or one of those places to get some makeup. And I said I went to the one over here in Town and Country Mall. And guess what? That is shut down months ago. I went to the one in the Galleria because that's where I was. That's where we were doing all the festivities for their 50th wedding anniversary party. My mom's like, "What? You went there? That closed years ago." And I'm like, "Oh shit." So I lied and said, "Oh, I'm at the other store." And thank God that store was still there. And thank God I put my bags in my room already, so she couldn't see I was lying. Yeah, so I'm not a good liar. So personally, I don't think anybody should be a good liar. I think you should always tell the truth. I don't think it's hard to to remember your lies. I don't know. I'm not a liar, so I don't know how it goes, but never want to lie. You want to be truly you, so that person can fall in love with that person, really you, not somebody else. Like in that movie, go see the movie, Ugly Truth, with Gerard Butler and the cute blonde girl. I can't remember her name. She was. Was she in one of the Marvel Fantastic Four? I think she was. Her. I'm getting her. No. I'm getting her mixed up. Sorry. She was in One Night Stand. That girl. Can't remember her name. Yeah, go watch the movie. It's really good because it helps you really see about how you want to be yourself. Of course, you want to also take a look at yourself and think, I don't have any interest. I'm kind of boring. What can I do? That's what part of my job of exercise and helping you is figure out what is it that you do love. Who is this masked man? Take off your mask and let's see who you really are. I don't know. But like that one woman, she wasn't sailing right then. She hadn't sailed since like before children. Because she raised her kids and she got divorced and then she remembered, I really used to love to sail. So remembering lost dreams, lost things. Like that one guy that was a lawyer, he probably, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he was in theater and stuff maybe when he was growing up. I remembered, I love to do that. I didn't think I could make a living out of doing that, but I can. You can do anything you're passionate about. And then find the right one. And when you be yourself, you'll find that woman. How it works. I have some announcement next week. You're going to be like, whoa, I'm getting in myself in alignment as well. And things are starting to happen that are pretty crazy. So, any more questions? We have been an hour and a half about. So, this is exciting. This is fun. This has been fun. Yeah, almost an hour and a half. I guess right there. I forgot. Any more questions before I go? I'm going to go watch. I think the latest version of Captain America. Not Captain America. What am I saying? Marvel's Winter Soldier and Falcon. Oh my God, Falcon and Winter Soldier is on tonight, so I'm gonna go watch that and eat dinner late, but I don't care. I'm a night owl. So, anyways, any more questions? One last time. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here. I don't know who was all here, but I just want to say thank you all for being here. And if you're just coming on, please, I will keep saying, if you're watching this live, please put hashtag live in the comments below so I know that you watched it live. And for those that are watching a replay, put hashtag replay so I know that you're watching the replay. And for some of you that just came on, looks like somebody just came on a while ago, go back and listen to the beginning. I know it's kind of long, but there's been some good nuggets in here for first dates. So this is really fun, and I hope you had a good time. And I will see y'all next week, okay? With a big announcement. Again, if you want my help, type hashtag first date in the comments, and I'll reach out to you. Thank you very much, Bill. You're very sweet. Okay, see y'all later. Bye-bye. Take care.